Europe is full of rich history and diversity. In fact, no matter where you go, you will probably see the remains of past civilizations. Sometimes, these locations are uninhabited ruins. On the other hand, these locations can be places that have survived the test of time and integrated into the modern world. So in this video, we are going to go over the top 10 most beautiful medieval towns in Europe. Number 10. Istanbul, Turkey. Istanbul is the true definition of East meets West, as it literally sits on the gateway between Europe and Asia, which has created an exotic blend of cultures. Even before you start to learn about the history or see the attractions, it is the fairy tale vibe of Istanbul that brings you back to the Middle Ages. Istanbul started as the Greek city of Byzantium before becoming the capital of the Western Roman Empire known as Constantinople in 330. Through early medieval times, the trade routes through this Christian capital helped to spread influential Byzantine through Europe. To some scholars, Constantinople was the most important city in Europe through much of the Middle Ages. The Church of the Holy Apostles even inspired the design of today's St. Paul Cathedral at the Vatican. The Ottoman Empire conquered Constantinople in 1453, making it their own capital throughout the Golden Age of Islam. Istanbul is covered with some of the most impressive massive structures from the Middle Ages. Number 9. Venice, Italy. Spread over 118 small islands joined by over 400 bridges, romantic Venice lays virtually unchanged since the Middle Ages. As you walk through the tightly packed cobblestone alleyways and weathered waterfront homes, you are still able to experience Venice exactly how it was in the 1400 to 1500s. As shipbuilding and naval power, the city-state of Venice was also very powerful in the Middle Ages. Clearing the Adriatic Sea of pirates, Venice grew to be one of Europe's most important trading hubs connecting Europe, the Middle East and Asia. Even the two touristiest things to do in Venice have strong medieval roots. The first is the gondola rides, which have actually existed here since the year 1094. While there are only around 400 gondolas today, in medieval times they were the most popular form of transportation in Venice, and the canals were packed with 10,000 of them. Even the wonderful masquerade balls go back centuries, as the first carnival was celebrated in Venice in 1162. Number 8. Tallinn, Estonia. Tallinn is the capital, primate, and the most populous city of Estonia. Located in the northern part of the country, on the shore of the Gulf of Finland of the Baltic Sea, it has a population of 437,619 in 2020. Although it is the medieval gem of the Baltic Sea, Tallinn is a European too often overlooked by tourists. Tallinn has also been known as the village of Reval in the Middle Ages. Tallinn is one of the few Eastern European cities to have true medieval charm. There is a beautiful princess-towered city wall, a small central castle, cobblestone streets, and brightly colored homes along Town Hall Square. Tallinn is only a 2-hour ferry ride from Helsinki, Finland, but its closest medieval neighbors are the villages of Riga, Latvia, and Stockholm, Sweden, both of which are best visited with a short plane ride. Tallinn is not only an amazing place for you to visit but is also the birthplace of many international high-technology companies, including Skype and TransferWise. Number 7. St. Paul de Vence, France. Perched high on a hilltop between Nice and Antibes, St. Paul de Vence is an untouched medieval wonderland. It is well known for its modern and contemporary art museums and galleries such as the Fondation Mogg, which is located nearby. Entering through the city walls past protective cannons in the early morning helps you beat the midday tourist rush, and you'll almost have the place to yourself. The solitude is magical as sunbeams mix with shadows on the aged stone walls of the homes and decorative cobblestones in the streets. The village is so beautiful that it is easy to understand why so many famous artists, including the late Marc Chagall, have called it home over the centuries. As the tour groups arrive, the boutique shops and dozens of art galleries open, creating opportunities for endless days of shopping. If you want the full old world experience, make sure to take a winery tour into the vine-terraced cliffs surrounding the city. Number 6. Colmar, France. Colmar's brightly colored, half-timber houses and weeping willow trees cling to the edges of canals from the Launch River, giving it a postcard-perfect feel. The must-see attractions of Colmar include the Fishmongers District, the Little Venice where you can rent a rowboat, tons of iconic buildings from the 1500s to 1600s, and one of Europe's best Christmas markets. Our favorite medieval attraction in Colmar is the Oeuvre Notre Dame Art Museum at the foot of the city's cathedral, which holds the Upper Rhine River Valley's best sculptures and paintings from the Middle Ages. While it is the old-world beauty that has made Colmar the belle of France's Alsace region, it is the amazing wine history that cements it on our top medieval cities list. Colmar started as a rural community of wine producers, and it quickly became known as the region's king of wine. This is pretty impressive as the Alsace region is widely known as the Route du Vin or Wine Road. By the Middle Ages, Colmar's Horburg wire port was being sent to the far corners of Europe. Number 5. San Gimignano, Italy. San Gimignano is an Italian hill town in Tuscany, southwest of Florence. San Gimignano manages to capture the same old world charm. The main thing that sets San Gimignano apart from other towns on this list is that this hilltop village is littered with competing medieval watchtowers. These skyscraping towers make San Gimignano look like a medieval Manhattan, and it happens to be our favorite Tuscan town to visit. There are still 15 well-preserved tower houses in San Gimignano, which seems like a lot, but at its peak, the tiny village had 72 of them. The city's most powerful families each had their own tower, with the height indicating their owner's influence. Most of the cities in the region, including Florence, were actually filled with house towers like this, but most were brought down due to wars, catastrophes, and expansions. It is amazing that over a dozen of these original skyscrapers still exist today in one town. Number 4. Avila, Spain. Avila, capital of the Spanish province of the same name, is a city in the rolling hill country northwest of Madrid. At an impressive length of nearly 2 miles, the medieval city walls surrounding Avila, Spain, is one of the best countries to live in the world. Avila started as a Roman settlement. However, appreciations to its iconic wall, the city reached its peak from the year 1088 to 1600. With 9 gigantic doors, hundreds of drum towers finished off with more than 2,500 merlins. The 40-foot-tall, 10-foot-thick wall feels like it came out from a fantasy movie. The city's center is likewise outstanding as it has the nation's most extraordinary assortment of Gothic places of worship per capita. Avila will be the best place for you to have a trip when you go to Spain. It all does not end here, but the interior of the city is also impressive as it has the country's highest collection of Gothic churches per capita. Number 3. Siena, Italy. Siena's old world charm rivals any European city, and it needs to be toward the top of any itinerary for Italy. This Tuscan paradise has a vibe that is a mashup of medieval and early Renaissance elements, which is perfectly accented by its amazing food and wine. There may not be a more authentic feeling town in Tuscany, so it's no wonder restaurant chains like the Olive Garden have tried to copy Siena's magic. In the center of Siena is Piazza del Campo, which was laid out in the 1300s and is considered the greatest medieval square in Italy. Shaped like an inverted clamshell, the popular square still serves as Siena's focal point, with visitors relaxing and people watching all day. 2 of the most impressive buildings from the Middle Ages are also in Siena. The first is Palazzo Pubblico, Town Hall, which sits on the main square and houses some of the best medieval frescoes in Europe. The town hall also has the Tower of the Eater. Number 2. Mont SaintMichel, France. The unbelievably small town only has 44 residents, but they get to live one of the most magical experiences in Europe on a daily basis. The village sits on top of a large rock formation sticking out of the ocean just off France's northern coast. The rock is capped by a huge cathedral which looks as if it were being supported by the homes and shops below that hug the sides of the formation. The iconic silhouette Mont SaintMichel was even used in Disney's Tangled, 2014, as the city that Rapunzel was from. The tiny Mont SaintMichel is probably the most unspoiled medieval city in Europe, as it has remained virtually the same over the centuries. This is partly to do with Mont's small footprint, but also because for centuries you could only reach the town during low tide by crossing the tidal basin before the oceans rushed back in. If you are in northern France or Paris, you really need to visit or stay overnight in the gem of a true medieval city. Number 1. Prague, the Czech Republic. Prague is the best preserved large medieval city in Europe. Some of the other medieval towns in Europe may be more compact or have their city walls preserved, but Prague has an unmatched vibe that helps bring you back to the past. We love that Prague as it is big enough to be impressive, yet cozy enough to feel warm and inviting. With rich architecture, thriving culture, top-notch drinking, and even a huge urban castle, Prague is our favorite medieval city in Europe. The Gothic towers peer down at colorful buildings with playful names like the Stork House and House of Gold Ring, as well as the oldest operational astronomical clock in the world. As discussed earlier, the most significant reason to visit Prague is to check out the city's magnificent architecture. The city also offers a lot of cultural attractions and historical sites, which include the Prague Castle, the Jewish Quarter, the Powder Tower, the astronomical clock, and much more. With that being said, here we come to the end of the list of the top 10 most beautiful medieval towns in the world to visit. I hope you liked this video. If so, then don't forget to subscribe to my channel so you never miss any video. See you in the next video. Till then, take care. Thanks for watching.